Okay, now today let's talk about ethic changes. Now, regard to this topic, we all know that it's not first time that the earth is changing, right? So there is no good reason, and there's no point in there's no good reason to panic about the changes that we're going through right now, and there's no point in punchy edge of a dagger or a sharp knife. You're only gonna get hurted in the process, right? So just go with the flow. There's not much we can do. Okay, take a day at a time. That's okay. So you can see here from the S timeline. There's not even the begin because there's no begin, no end. That's what I believe. The world has no beginning and no end. Okay, things transform. Transformation is not destruction. It's not end of something. It's just transformation. Is the beginning of a new timeline, new era. What was what is in fact in one superficial one timeline is transported to another timeline, is stored somewhere else. It's not instincted, instincted for us, but somewhere else is reused again. Everything is reused, everything is transformed and recycled. Right? So that's it. That's what life is all about. You see, we have meteors, we have colonies of bacteria, uh, meteorites, colonies of bacteria, and we have so many things going on, right? So also there's no point in blame others. Has been long time already here, okay? Because this is the plane of those who plays the game. And when I say this their game, I'm not talking about people who embody a human body. Something else, if you know what I mean. Okay, so there's not much you can do. Life still go on, if not here, somewhere else. So according to the Hopi, which is the tribal people, shamanic, we are entering the 50th world. There has been at least four previous words, more than that. There's not just four words, there have been many. And expect many more. Yeah, correct, many more. From what I can gather is many more. All providing, is it providing? All in various, all ending, resulting in various cataclysm. The fourth word is dying as we speak. The fourth word. It represents the pinnacle of third-dimensional ego-based power driven competitive masculine archetypes characterized by a ruling elite. No point in blame, because it's their game. Okay, this is their playground called the Illuminati, which means illumined ones. The original illumined, the elite became corrupted by identification is the material world, and also they identify themselves with corruption. Oh, I identify myself with corruption. Why people no point? Why people worry about this? Fell in vibration to present sorry state. So by prediction, what's this? My predictions have been consistent over the past 25 years. The 80-20-01 ratio outlined below 100 changed significantly during that time. I got these numbers from my soul higher self. They are apparently based on the soul's projection of the current state of warning sea and the anticipated raising of awareness of the population. An entire chapter is devoted to the various scenarios that mark the closing of the great cycle that is spoken of in Jose Argel's books and the work of David Koch. The Hopi prophecy depicts a descending spiral 3D, a shining sun 4D, it's now solar flare, and a stairway to heaven 5D, with the uh, change to 50 dimension, but not everybody gonna qualify, going to upgrade to this level. Nevertheless, below I offer description of the three parts. 3D scenario, the descending spiral on the Hopi petroglyph refers to the souls who steadfastly refuse to raise their vibrations out of tragedy or who allow themselves to be misled down an ego-based path by the ruling elite in the entertainment slash media complex, among other false prophets. The most likely scenario to unfold over the next 2 decades involves the majority of present-day humans exiting the Earth plane through death by various means. Correct. Immune system failure or exotic diseases, war, famine. The process will likely be complete by 2030. That's when we have gonna have a response. So I'm doing this video in response to the over hysteria of a new apocalypse this year, which nothing gonna happen. I'm so sorry for you who vibrate in this frequency, and I think that's gonna happen. Just like 2012, do you remember? And at which I made a video whose channel was removed for some reason. I don't know why. Might be a hacker, a stupid evil person somewhere. I had made a video that 16 December 2012 before the 21 the December 21, 2012, 2 weeks before, I guess, yeah. I had made a video telling people that it's not gonna happen, not gonna happen. There's not gonna be in apocalypse man, in dead wars, you know. Things will carry on like before, all right? And suddenly I saw the month December 2012 went by okay, smooth, and suddenly I woke up. I was already in January 1, 2013, and everything went smooth. So what we have here is just an attempt to throw more, uh, how to say, they say the rays. They can use the sun's ray or something else to try and change the people here um, to trigger them, okay, to wake up. All right, this is what is happening here, and not something like some cataclysm coming or the end of the world. No, stop. That's enough. Enough with all this fanaticism. Those our ancestors and even some of us had been through a lot of cataclysm already. There's nothing new happening. It's just a process of transformation. Just as the seasons changes to summer, um, autumn, and the winter, spring, summer, and so on and so forth. Changes here, things here also change. It's nothing out of the extraordinary, but people need to stop vibrating it, spreading euphorias and hysterisms and become totally hysterics over that. It's not gonna happen nothing. Just relax. Gonna be a year that gonna have a lot of tribulations, hurdles, and a lot of conflicts, problem to conquer. But what to do? That's life. That's a la vie. Okay. If you try to separate the reality from illusion, and what's the reality? There's no reality. There's no reality. Everything is a void. Understand? When you come to this level of understanding, you come to see things more clearer. You come to see that we are living in one big stage, or even like a computer binary, if you will. And it's all make believe, whether either is here, that dimension, or dimension, it doesn't exist. In absoluteness, it doesn't exist. It is prone to change. Okay, what really exists is the void, and is the nothingness. So the descent spiral of the Hopi petroglyph refers to the souls who steadfastly refuse to raise their vibrations out of their density, or who allow themselves to be misled down an ego-based path by the ruling elite and the entertainment media complex, among other false prophets. The most likely scenario to unfold over the next 2 decades involves the majority of present day humans exiting the earth, plain through death by various means, which is not new: immune system failure, or exotic diseases, war, famine, etc. The process will likely be complete by 2030. So by this time here, maybe things will settle down. It's supposed to be this year or last year, but then a failure the matrix somewhere, or they have postponed it, and we have to continue with the make believe horror movie, because this is a horror movie, and there's nothing else but to laugh about it. Because if you get angry, if you're going to uh, fear-based mood, it won't happen. It won't help. Not you, not the planet, right? So the date of major cataclysmic events will likely be 2007. No. 2012. No. 2017. No. And 2030. I guess not. I guess not. The latest transformation suggests the following cataclysm. No. 2007, nothing happened. 2012 also no. 2017 also no. Once okay. You see how people make mistakes, so you cannot trust people blindly. These people who are into the metaphysical um, uh, kind of program, I would say a program, sometimes they can be a handler, all right? A program handlers. I'm not. I walk on my own, on my own. I'm on my own. Me, my own God self, but I walk on my own. These people, I don't know, they walk on. This one was in 2004. 2004, that's a long time ago. Over is about, yeah, 20 years ago. See, this article is 20 years ago, very old, and still we are here. And people still keeping on touch the same keyboard, the same key, and the same key. They keep on stroking the same key about cataclysm, about the end of the world, about the end of the earth. No, you end, your body end, my body will end, your body will, but at the end things will continue. Unfortunately, for those who want everything to end, it won't end. Not so soon. Okay, it's not the first time that the earth has been through it. So I'm here to raise the vibration of people and take away their fear-based uh, vibrations or moods. Now let's look. If I were this guy, I would just see, do like ostrich do. I will dig a hole and put my face in and cover up of shame. Imagine I preview something that won't happen. How shameful is that? 2007 economic collapse brought about by high energy prices and inflated currency, causing widespread war and famine. Lie, didn't happen. So relax again. 2012, all those shamanic, nomadic, tribal people of the Americas again spread the virus of rumors, false rumors, and terror. At the enters into electromagnetic null zone, signifying the end of the great cycle caused mutations in humans. Could be. This one, I believe it could have happened. Many people start to change dramatically after this period. So I knew by then that it was a new cycle and not the end but a new cycle. In this period back then is what precisely we are having right now. Right here, right now is 12 years cycle. All right? So don't worry. I mean, we're not gonna get out of here alive, nevertheless. So don't worry. So 2017, comet brushed by false wormwood. The false wormwood 2017, causing severe mutations in human. That's correct. Yeah, yeah. It did happen up to now. Okay. 2013, asteroid brushed by the wormwood of planet X caused severe electromagnetic imbalances. Now, referring to this detail, it's happening right now. Okay, it's happening right now. Many people that went through a lot of um, problems with their health, like me, for example, last year, and many other people who didn't make it. Fortunately, they died. Sepsis, cardiac arrest, um, and many others ailments was not just because of something else that they took, but because of this, okay, electromagnetic or the solar flare influence. And now, before people think that this year gonna have a major solar flare, eclipses and astral imbalance. Remember that we had the same in 2009. If I don't make the mistake, 2009 we have a major solar flare, and but we still stood up, right? We still stood up, strong and firm. It was okay back then. For many people, it has been a very wonderful time. 2007, 2012 must be okay. 2009. The only problem about 2012 was the fact that Yahoo shut the rooms, closed it down, just because of this hysteria as well. So about 8% of humanity will likely choose the 3D path. They will exit through death and be reincarnated in another planet more suitable for their 3D density. Okay, this is happening right now, and I have talked about it in 2017 or 2017 to 2018 about people having to make a choices and as he enter into different timelines, the lefties, the rights wing, the lefties, understand, and other in between the arbitrary people. So we're gonna have a lot of some timelines here, right? For me, I prefer the timeline of the place where I was born. It's there I want to stay because it's still a bit on the past. It's very tranquil. The vibration is very nice and give me a relief that I'm out of the mud, the purgatory mud. Okay, I mean when I mentally I go to that place, that realm, but once I get down to reality where I am, I get kind of frustrated. But I need, I am strong, so I need to carry on. Nevertheless, regardless where I am. So here the solar flare is the main cause of many upheaval here on earth. Be it these disasters, which is not natural, and diseases, pandemics, and many more. Okay, mental imbalance in people, people going berserk, people run amok, killing each other, and bringing in even beings. It is not only affecting the 3D density frequency here on Earth is more physical and dense, but also is affecting the fourth dimension beings. And for this reason, portals have been opened and they enter, they infiltrate inside. They too are being affected by it. That's what I come to realize now. You see, so that's what very important about this kind of work is because we are never sure. We cannot give an absolute answer for things that people are asking. So we must always update on new findings. Okay, it's just like uh, scientific research and discovery. They are never certain. You see, there's always new one coming and um, override the other's claims and discovery, right? So this the same thing about what we say regarding pertaining to metaphysical reality and experiences. So those things are emitted by not by chances, is by design. All right, is given and sent by design, not by chances. Nearly everything is not by chances. It's done on purpose. So all these things affect everything living. that lives in one kind of organic bubble. So the Hopi sun represents the fifth world, about 152% of the population likely create spiritually based intentional communities in areas of the earth not overtly subject to natural or artificial disaster. These people live in relative paradise due to the dominance of positive life creation thoughts in their consciousness. They will harness alternative energy sources to power their communities. This is not new. We were like this before, but we are still not free from the negative side of nature is bugs, poisonous snakes and other insects, and spiritual beings who come to disturb your house. And many people get mad, especially so when they live alone there, or get very sick and they end up abandon their dream world, which was there on the countryside. So 5D scenario, but of course I like the countryside. Still prefer compared to this bricky forest, bricky jungle. I rather have the countryside. 5D scenario, the ascending starway on the Hopi petroglyph about 10 to 30 million of Earth souls will likely achieve ascension during this lifetime. So less than 0.1% of Earth souls will likely uh, upgrade themselves or graduate. Will likely achieve ascension during this lifetime. Correct. Because they don't know what to do with this frequency that is disturbing them. Right? This frequency which is disturbing them done by designs. Uh, so they will enter into the 50D earth, but they cannot make it. A world of indescribable beauty and harmony. From this vantage point, they will assist those in the 4G realities, and perhaps even those on other 3D worlds. A very tiny portion of the ascending group will go on into the celestial realms, 60D, 80D, but most of them will have a desire to help erase the warnings of 3D, the people here, the group here, and 4D civilizations, and will therefore stay with the 5D Earth because they will remain as uh, mentors, etc. Okay, teachers, mentors. So they would they want they don't want to ascend. They rather stay here to assist the others. According to well-placed sources, the present oil crisis and the valuing of stocks will lead to economic collapse. Correct, this happened like around the year 2007, sooner if the present administration the OCA is re-elected. Based on numerous sources, including the Maya. Yeah, but it didn't happen 2007. It came now. They stretch it up to post to 2012. Based on numerous sources, including the Mayan calendar, something highly significant is expected to occur on December 2012, 2012. And nothing happened, only change. And the thing started to accelerate in 2020. Things start to change in 2020. My information suggests this is when Earth will enter the electromagnetic null zone. Electromagnetic null zone. The EM null zone is a region of space whereby the magnetic polarities temporarily collapse, creating a zero-point vacuum in the time-space continuum. The other effect of this shift would be a wave of tremendous incoming energy, sufficient to trigger mass ascension in souls who are ready to receive it, correct? It happened. It could also trigger massive cataclysm in the 3D and 4D realms, including complete failure of telecommunication computer systems. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Not true. So far, so good. I remember the 2002K, something like that. Nothing happened. Nothing. So don't vibrate in this kind of um, drama queens rumors because it doesn't happen like this at once. It is sequential. So I was given information and saw visions indication that in 2017 the tail of a comet will brush Earth, instantly mutating all living cellular organisms. Correct. I believe that. Those who are on the ascension spiral will be accelerated at light speed into the fifth dimension at a time. Those at the lower vibrations will likely leave their bodies at the time and be transferred to another planetary school to continue their lessons. I don't think so. You cannot discriminate like this about people. If you think this way, you say that many people who went during the pandemic were evil people, and they want evil people. Many good people went in those days, in those times. Okay, so not all were low frequency people. Now many low frequency people still remains here. A lot of them killing, doing stupid thing, run amok, crazy, insane people are still here. So it's not true what they are saying here. You cannot discriminate. They are not lower than us. It's just that they were not okay if they had some issue and they didn't really matter if they go. And they went because they want to save their loved ones from death. So they exchange the loved ones' eggs to theirs. Yeah, it happened. You know, it happened. Many of our loved ones prefer to go first to so that will be here. They go in our place so that they will save us from our wave. I wouldn't say it's a negative wave, but because we have something else to do here. Our missions are not finished yet. I'm not saying karma, but I would say mission. Okay, because karma looks something like very judgmental. And so does say that people who went leave us because they are not ready, because they have low frequency. That's rubbish. That's rubbish. We are not perfect. Nobody here is perfect. Those who are judged aren't as well. Okay, so you cannot say that those people who just drop dead or die for one reason or another do that because they have a low frequency. No, that's not true. They go because they want to save their relatives or family loved ones from going. So they go in their place. Do you understand? Hmm. Nothing to do with negative thought and judgments here. Approximately every 3,600 years, according to Zacharias Sitchin and others. A heavily body, probably an asteroid, brushes the Earth and causes varying degrees of cataclysm, correct? Depending on its trajectory and effect on the EM fields of Earth. Our consciousness can greatly affect the severity of this brush by, which I believe is scheduled to occur in 2030. Episodes of Wormwood, Planet X, Nibiru, or whatever name you want to call it, are described in elaborate detail in early civilizations, and they are caused by the dragons, Rahu and Ketu, and those beings. Okay, they are known next. All right. So apparently, this asteroid or planetoid, as it is, at least half the size of Earth, also has a group of beings called the Neburians, who are the Anunnaks, Dracos, and the mysticity of the planetoid, some of whom influenced the early evolution of Earth in a negative way. There is a debate as to why scientists have not yet discovered this incoming object. Do you guess why? Do I have to tell you? I don't think I have to tell you why. This could be due to suppression, but more than likely its relatively small size in unusual orbit would cause it to be mistaken for an ordinary asteroid until a few years before it enters Earth orbit. Choose a scenario, choose a timeline. There is, of course, a choice. We can be part of the 8% of humanity that stays in 3D and goes down if the ship reincarnates onto another 3D world, or we can be part of the 20% that evolves into 4G and creates enlightened, self-sufficient communities on the new earth. Or we can be part of the zero, less than 0.1% of humanity that evolves into 5D and becomes part of the heavenly earth, the ascension. The choice is yours, is ours. Our only problem is how attached to that old world are we, I am. Not to this world which I'm living right now, but to my childhood world. How much do we cherish that hammer in the driveway or soup or whatever? Do you believe our sustenance comes from God or from Visa and MasterCard? Do you believe we need all this old world stuff in order to protect the body from what? I figure the worst that could happen is that you might lose those shells, our bodies. Actually, you can take them to the fifth dimension if you want. I say, bring on the changes. No, don't bring. I want to stay on the old timeline of the 60s, 50s, no, 50s, no, the last period of 50s. I wouldn't want to be on the war. I was, I born post-war. I am the babies that were born after the war in the 60s. So I like that time, I like the 60s when they were building things. I like the 70s energy. I like the 80s decades, 60s, 70s. Suddenly, so when I remember my family. The degree of our consciousness will determine whether or not we are wiped out by a natural event because we draw experiences to eyes based on our consciousness. If enough of us wake up, the comet or whatever will have minimal effect on Earth. If we, oh, I see. What does it mean? If we, if enough of us wake up, the comet or whatever will have minimal effect on Earth. This means that there is how to say, is a kind of blackmail, opportunistic thinking here, which is not positive to me. If we keep slumbering soundly and voting for new conservatives and greater security, we will likely be rudely awakened by a global event of some sort. Oh, so they want their way. I mean, the non-humans want their way. So if the humans want to do their way, they send comets, they send asteroids, they send diseases, and then everybody goes blame on the humans here. Oh, it's the Illuminati, the governments, because they are the devils here. They are the ones doing all this, right or not? We all do that, right? But now I have another kind of a thinking. I don't think. I mean, it's not the new thought forms. I have this since I have been saying this since 2018. I have always blamed those invisible forces. Okay, it's them. They are playing Russian roulette, if we do see here. Do it or, you know, uh, comply or listen to eyes or so all the things that we are going through here, solar flares, diseases, economic woes, um, inflation, are all worries are all caused by them, by those beings, astral beings, invisible beings. Okay, more details in the changes on the changes. I do believe we are for a turbulent time in the years ahead. You bet. For the following reasons. First, we are moving to what has been called an electromagnetic null zone, or an area with decreased electromagnetic activity, whether or not this causes a pole shift or some other shift remains to be seen. Second, we are nearing the end of consumer mentality because we are running out of easily extractable oil. This will force us to embrace higher technologies or go the way of the dinosaurs in the 3D plane. I think this man he's a handler. He can be he's a handler. Many of them are handler programmer. We are nearing the end of consumer's mentality because we are running out of easily extracted oil. This will force us to embrace to higher technologies, go the way of the dinosaurs in the 3D plane. 3. We are waking up to a multidimensional selves. This will bring all that is false to the surface to be released. This is already happening. Any social political structures based on the old paradigm will swiftly fall away and be replaced by for these structures sucks. It sucks. And it takes time for us to adapt to it, nevertheless. 4. When a comet's tail brushes the earth, it sometimes causes mild disturbances and sometimes total cataclysm, as with the dinosaurs. I know scientists say it was an asteroid that killed the dinos, but they say it was the tail of a comet. Not that there's that much difference between a comet and asteroid, and because the effects of brushley by are concerned. So they send asteroids, comets, meteors, meteorites. The meteor is smaller. I think a part of comet meteorites, those come from the asteroids. And though they do this when they want to harm a place or wage war, they do this to cause major um, cataclysm in the population. and extinction. Inside the Nibiru planet, puta que pariu. Oh my god, and all these shadow beings here, all the hooded beings. You look like Anubis, but may not be him. Gross. The Planet X debate is a hard one these days. There are enough independent astronomers, not about and paid for by the uh, that are searching the heaven that I think, but now we would have something definitive. If a large body were approaching Earth, a small comet or asteroid could perhaps not be detected until a few years before impact or brush by, but the large ones should already be visible. I think it's likely that Planet X is a planetoid much smaller than Earth, but capable of doing significant damage. I believe up to half of humanity could experience a immune system failure as we approach the end of the great cycle. Mhm. This almost happened to me. As the energy gets very intense, many are subconsciously overwhelmed and unable to cope with the rising energies and may choose to act through immune system failure. Correct. Very correct. My sister, 2019, many other people who goes to hospital suddenly died or they just dropped dead on the streets or they go hospital and they just die there. Young people even on their 20s, 30s, teenagers. Whether or not the immune system is compromised by illuminati experiments, oh please, so stop your nonsense of it's already become like a kind of obsession. Only point a finger at third person, another the true comprise. Is compromised by illuminati experiments, soul fragmentation, unresolved emotions, pollution, etc. Um, the answer is always the same. Realize that we are perfect creations of God. Or to put it one step further, we are God expressing through individual bodies slash mind complexes. Our awareness of God is directly proportional to our overall health. And also remember that you've not been here the first time. We've been here many, many times already. Okay? So don't despair, it's okay. It's just one passage. It's just one of your script that you are taking right now. And when this script finish, when the show finish, the soapy opera is over, you have to drop your identity. You cannot identify yourself anymore as uh, how to say that the Terminator. Say the Terminator wants a identity, right? And Jason also wants identity. And Norman Bates wants in identity. So all this in identity. Once the show is over, drop identity and move on. It takes all the stories of Doomsday with a grain of sea salt. Yeah, that's rubbish. They are reminders of the alternative to awakening, as if we need to be reminded. Yeah, but no point in a be hysterical and a commit the same trash time and time again. Every year the same nonsense, nothing happens. Every year. Oh, this month is going to happen something. In September going to happen something. The end of the world is coming. This year the world is ending. That is rubbish. Stop this nonsense once and for all. What you earn from it, what you get from it, nothing but being labeled as a phony and a fake person, full of rubbish things in the mind and obsessions. I take all the stories of them, but nonsense. There's no such thing. Modern self-fulfilling prophecies. What is manifest in the 3D world is the composite projection of the thoughts of 3D souls. Jung called this the collective unconscious. I'll call the collective subconscious. The collective subconscious of all people with terror thoughts will create a reality based on terror. If you do not like the picture you see, we know what to do. Change our thoughts. Yeah, to manifest another reality. But no, they start to vibrate all over YouTube, all over the net. Doomsday, apocalypse, doomsday. What to use during the doomsday? What to store at the home? You know, all the funny people, the sicko people who follows dogmas and doctrines start to spread the bug of uh, terror and fears. Others may still choose to create terror, but you will be largely unaffected by it if our consciousness does not buy into it. That's me here. I don't buy. I ponder, I analyze, I think, and then I come to a conclusion before I purchase it. There is talk of a pole shift. It's true that we may feel this changes polarity every so often, but many are saying the Earth could flip on its axis. In order for the Earth to reverse its direction of rotation or turn upside down, this would require tremendous change in momentum, greater than anything since the Big Bang probably. A polarity shift would have very little impact on the rate of method of the Earth's rotation. Although Newton is a bit outdated, some of his laws are pretty important. His laws of emotions dictate that in order for the Earth to physically reverse its poles, there would have to be some huge outside force acting upon the Earth. Therefore, if such a reversal were to take place, I would like to be the result of collision with a large asteroid or rogue planet. I forgot to mention. Did I mention about a dream that I have in I think 4 5 days ago, at which I saw the beam come here. Yeah, it was this one. Only that his face was not like quite a bird. It was more flat than this one, okay? But the body was exactly the same, but even taller than this one, and the skin color the same. It moves. It was very, very tall, and it was flying here on the place where I was, and it was as tall as the building itself. And it goes from unit to unit, just from the outside. He wants from unit to unit, claim that he will take all the things we had, okay, and shaving after me. But I was not afraid of it. In fact, I found it very pathetic, indeed, pathetic. I found it very pathetic. But the one I saw have dregs. It have flat face and dregs. It have hair, dregs hair. Think pathetic, and I was not amused or scared. So A polarity shift means that the electromagnetic field around the Earth changes. If the North Pole were positive and the South Pole negative, for instance, then after the shift, the North Pole will be negative and the South Pole positive. The Earth would continue rotating as before, but the field generated would flow in the opposite direction. Low pressure areas will spin clockwise in the northern hemisphere instead of counterclockwise. Oh, spin clockwise this time in the northern hemisphere instead of counterclockwise. See, the most serious effect of a polarity shift would be on devices that utilize the electromagnetic field to operate. This would include such as things as human bodies, electronics, including our beloved internet, and the vortex and energy centers of Earth itself. This is not to say that the human body would not survive such a shift. Certainly could under the right conditions, as mentioned. As for the electronics, perhaps we should be a little less reliant on such for our well-being. It's difficult because we are already so conditioned. We need our wash machine. We need our many things, blender and the computers, etc. So it's very hard for us now, but we could adapt. We could if you are not where we are right now. Why not? A polarity shift means that the electromagnetic field around the Earth changes. If the North Pole were positive and the South Pole negative, for instance, then after the shift, the North Pole will be negative and the South Pole positive. The Earth would continue rotating as before, but the field generated would flow in the opposite direction. Low pressure areas would spin clockwise in the northern hemisphere instead of counterclockwise, for instance. The most serious effect of a polarity shift would be on a devices that utilize the electromagnetic field to operate. This would include such things as human bodies, electronics, including our beloved internet, and the vortex and energy centers of Earth herself. This is not to say that the human body would not survive such a shift. It certainly could under the right conditions, as mentioned. It was saying, yeah, there's always a trick, a condition. Need to. If you don't, then you either do or, as for the electronic, perhaps it should be a little less reliant on such for our well-being. It's difficult. We need our wash machine. We need our computers. So it's quite difficult, but we can adapt. There would be great magnetic storms across the earth due to the change in pressure zones. Cold areas could become warm and vice versa. It's likely that most life forms would either move into a higher density or die off and reincarnate elsewhere. Unless Earth is hit by a large asteroid, a polarity shift will likely occur in stages. Give you some preparation time. I think we can expect a major EM disturbance in our lifetime. Yeah, but it would most likely cause only a polarity shift, not a physical reversal. Nevertheless, the effects could be drastic. I've heard from a number of sources. So I'm sure it's not just wishful thinking that there's a special planet being set up to receive the bloody thirsty warmongers who currently rule the earth, where they can play their games of torture, deceit, and revenge to their heart's content. I look forward to the day when that planet's no longer Earth. Me too. It's a lot easier to have 3D and 4D from 5D than it's to have from 60D, 70D, or 80D. So it's a lot easier to help 3, 4, and 5 than it's to help from 6, 7, or 80D. Most 60D and higher entities have a difficult time communicating directly with their souls in a language they can understand. After all, how do you describe the vastness sea of the higher dimensions? Even if you have a great level of coordinacy, huh? How about telepathy? I thought that telepathy in the language of the soul has no language barrier, no language at all. So where all this is stay? Where this all fits? Doesn't make any sense. In fact, the language of the soul is the best of all. The telepathy, language of the soul, in some gibberish said in our minds or our ears. Some do in fact give assistance by use teleportation and a holographic projection, but most prefer to use telepathy and channeling. Finding a clear channel is not easy, with all the human distortions, but a few do manage to get through. Hmm. Yeah, of course. You need to discern and filter who we should trust or not. Or you must only, I mean, you can just read the things and or listen to what the person has to say just for passing time and see whether it serves you or not. And take on the part that resonate with you and then just throw the rest that you don't like. No problem. I think shouldn't be any poon attached to it nevertheless. So that's all for now.